What's up, Wallet Monkeys? Welcome back to the channel, walletmonkey.io, for all of your credit building needs. We have tons of resources there. It is really an epic resource. Go ahead and check it out. That's walletmonkey.io. Today, what we're going to talk about is something really weird that I'm noticing in the personal finance space. And I know it's taboo and it's not good to, talk badly about other people. And I know this is a common practice on YouTube, complaining about others. But I do want to talk about something that's quite concerning here in what I thought was the personal finance space. And that is the increase that I've seen of not just talking about crypto, but talking about absolute crap, dog shit crypto, where 99% of people will lose their money. That's what I want to talk about. And it's this weird phenomenon that I'm noticing. So the other day on my feed, this isn't my feed, but the other day I noticed that, like, deep down in my suggested is there was like a couple Shiba Inu videos, suggested videos. And if you don't know what that is, it's a cryptocurrency. It was a meme coin, like it means it's a joke, that was created off of Dogecoin, which is also a joke. Well, it was up until like a month ago when they actually came up with a founders group, and they're trying to revitalize the coin now, but it was created to be a joke. And the developer and the guy who basically created it walked away from the project for the last 4 years, hasn't done anything to it. So it was created to be a joke. And Shiba is like the newest version of that. And so I noticed that there was like a couple of these videos in my newsfeed, and it was from what I thought were finance people. And we're gonna talk about like what the issue is with this, and like maybe kick around some ideas of maybe why people are like going all the way down this route, right? Because I don't really know. But firstly, let's just look. If I type in Shiba, I've got all of these suggested searches, which clearly means that there's a ton of people searching for this. Now, I would love for it to, let's see what Bitcoin looks like. Okay, like it's like this, you get into metals, right? And then there's gold, and then you're like, oh, silver. But before you know it, maybe you're like kicking around with ETFs, and you're looking at palladium, and you're looking at stuff that's like, let's call those, I guess, for lack of better words, those are shit coins as well, right? And that's what tends to happen in the crypto space is everyone comes in through Bitcoin for the most part. And then they get bored or something happens, and then they're like, oh, well, what about this ETH? And because unit bias kicks in, they're like, wait a second, for the same dollar, I could go get 1 million of these, or I could get like not even a fraction of a Bitcoin. Why would I do that? Not thinking that there's a difference in terms of value. They're just thinking that I get more of this thing for my dollar. And when we're in a time, right? Let's talk about this for a second. We're in a time when hyperinflation is pegged at CPI is 5.1% right now, but you and I both know it's higher than that. Go to the grocery store. What's it like, right? What's it like to buy your chicken? What's it like to buy your Johnson & Johnson products? What's it like to buy anything from Procter & Gamble, which own 80 different billion-dollar companies? So all your cleaning supplies and household supplies come from Procter & Gamble, which they've already announced that they will be hiking prices this year. In fact, over 12 companies hiking prices. And a lot of them have been hiking prices in anticipation that prices will go up. So when we're playing a game of trying to find yield, it's just crazy to see how fast we go off the deep end. So let's just type in Shiba. And what we're gonna see like what I thought was a bunch of personal finance guys, right? Like this guy, Graham Stephan. I don't follow these guys very closely, but I know that he's a personal finance guy. This guy mostly talks about cryptos, but he's also kind of like a personal finance guy. And where was the other one? I even saw, because I searched this earlier before I started shooting a video, I even saw that the real estate guy, I used to watch him a couple years ago because he was talking about like really good, sound, safe, traditional strategies with rental properties and things like that. And wow, we're like really getting in the deep end now. But so obviously there's a lot of people cashing in on cheap clicks. And I think that's part of the reason. Here he is, meet Kevin. So this guy, remember this guy? Like a couple years, like first off, he's got green hair, which is crazy and weird. But secondly is, a couple years ago, he was talking about like investment properties and traditional portfolio strategies. And now we're just in the dumpster, huh? It's so weird how fast that happened. And so it's something I need you guys to understand if you're not in the crypto space is that I haven't watched any of these videos. I don't care to, right? But these guys should be starting these videos off by clearly disclaiming that this is utter pure dog shit. 99% of you will lose your money in these meme coins because there is no fundamental purpose, and in a lot of ways, a lot of times, there's really no technical purpose for them to be going up in price. It's just going to be pumped and dumped based off of, like with Dogecoin, for example, it pumps every time Elon Musk says something about Dogecoin. So like, do we really want to be doing that? How do you front run that? How do you keep track of that position? Because like, what if he comes out tomorrow and says he hates it, like he did with Bitcoin, and then it dumps? Like, can you really be paying attention to that market 24/7 if you want to take up a position? Now, I understand people's desire for yield. I really do. It's just taking us to some really interesting places. And I feel like there's got to be more people calling attention to this because it really is quite concerning. Like this guy is the prime example of that. He used to have normal brown hair and he used to talk about traditional, very basic, fundamental portfolio strategies. And now he's got green hair and he's talking about like the worst of the worst cryptocurrencies. And again, let's see, is there a big disclaimer in the beginning? Like this video preview should start out with a huge screaming disclaimer, again, saying that most of you will lose your money in this. But we're gonna talk about it because it's easy clicks and maybe I'm bored or maybe I like it, maybe I'm into crypto now, whatever the reason. But like, start off by telling the truth, which is that if you don't understand crypto, don't get involved. Don't get involved, and definitely don't get involved with like the utter crap, like the bottom of the barrel. Let's start you off at something simple like some Bitcoin, right? Which is like, you know, the store of value narrative seems to be really playing out well for Bitcoin, right? It's like digital gold. It wasn't started to be that. That wasn't the original intention, but that narrative is working right now. So anyways, this is kind of concerning because it's like, I'm watching all the personal finance space just walk off the deep end here, and now we're just talking about crypto 24/7. And so I'm asking you, like, why do you think that is? I can think of a few different reasons. First off, let's just state the obvious. These guys have been running channels way longer than us, and they've been running channels for 3-4 years. Maybe they're getting bored. Maybe they're getting bored about talking about, you know, like Amex just changed their rewards, or, you know, oh, a new sign-up bonus. Like, I don't know, that seems really, really vanilla. In relationship, or excuse me, in contrast to like with Shiba. I'm sure you've heard of this, but somebody put $8,000 into it in January of last year, and now it's worth 5.4 billion or something like that, right? So, and everyone loves to play that like, oh my God, if I would have just put enough money in this, right? Like Motley Fool plays in on that, and a lot of the investment newsletters play in on that. They play in on like, oh, if you just put $1,000 in Google 10 years ago, you would have $1 trillion today, or whatever it is, right? Well, in this case, it's never usually that high, but in this case it is. Like if you put in $1,000, you'd be sitting on over, I think $1 million in Shiba. Well, you would have before it started dumping. And so, yeah, it's just very strange to watch this dynamic play out. Because another thing to keep in mind is that there's what's called a market cycle to a lot of this. And I know I'm probably talking about a lot of things that have more to do with macroeconomics than it does with personal finance, but I find that a lot of this stuff really blends and merges together. And so it's usually an indicator of a market top when you see everyone talking about your thing, right? When the taxi cab driver was talking about Bitcoin and all the Uber drivers were talking about Bitcoin in 2017, and they were about to launch the CME and the CBOE futures contracts. Well, guess what, guys? That was the mark of the top. Like literally after that got approved, that was the top. And so, you know, similar things happen here, but just, you know, there's a macro and a micro cycles playing at the same time. So like that was clearly the top for Shiba, is that every single personal finance YouTuber and crypto YouTuber were talking about it 24/7. And I get it, it's easy clicks. So let's go back to this. So maybe they're getting bored. Maybe they know that they're scared that their channels are gonna die if they don't talk about this, because it seems like everyone's talking about this. You know, they've again given them the benefit of the doubt. They've been shooting content about, you know, credit card rewards and, you know, all this stuff. You can only shoot so many videos for so long about this stuff, and then you got to start talking about something else, right? Otherwise, the channel's just going to kind of fade away. And so we've got that. Like I said, maybe they see that that's where all the attention is, and so they're trying to like get in on that attention, which can totally make sense. You know, a lot of YouTubers, I'm not pointing at anyone specifically, but a lot of YouTubers are very narcissistic and they love attention. So that could be part of it. But maybe there's something else that I'm missing. Again, to clarify, I just don't think it's that wise of an idea for like the entire personal finance space to go off the deep end into like the utter garbage. Like we're digging in the garbage can. We're literally not even on the Vegas Strip anymore. We're down in the, you know, in a back alley somewhere, like in the penny slots. Like that's where we are. That's the comparison. And also too, like another thing nobody's really talking about is like, this is sheer just gambling. If you want to gamble, just go to Vegas. Just go to Vegas or better yet, just burn your money, because your odds are so bad. And everyone loves to pretend that their odds are going to be so good and it's going to be different. And you don't understand. I'm different and I'm smart and I'm special. And I'm going to be the one to crack the code and, you know, make $1 trillion off of, you know, a meme coin. hey, you know what, maybe you will. Or maybe you'll be like the 99% of people in every single market who loses money. What's more likely? Right? Like, let's just stick to the data. Let's stick to the facts. Most people lose in markets. There's a reason for that. Retail doesn't realize it's retail. And, this channel even started off as being called It's Dumb Money before we got attacked legally. So it's like, dumb money doesn't know it's dumb. I don't know, like this is absolutely wild to watch that, because it's like, I don't know, where do you go from here? I guess is my first question, is like, do we just pivot back and we just start talking about like credit card stuff again and, and like go back to normal, or like, I don't know. And I do think there's a lot of upside to this though too, is like personal finance for the longest time was just like this super small little niche thing that was kind of separate from like macro and economics, like it's not like you really knew what was going on with the Fed and the debt levels, the national debt levels and things like that, and different policy to be in personal finance and to be talking about it. They didn't really merge and intersect, but it's been interesting over the last 2 years, right? It's like everything is intersecting now. We have personal finance that's been clearly intersected with crypto in many different ways, from fintechs launching to crypto rewards, credit cards to, you name it, we've got it now. And then on top of that, we've got like this macro piece that's fitting into the equation, which is like everyone knows inflation's going on. Everyone feels it. They know that the people that, make the regulation and the legislation are lying. Jerome Powell's gotten on national television now for how many months and talked about how inflation's going to be transitory. It's not, bro, and it doesn't affect you. You've got billions of dollars. You're set for life. Like, congratulations to you, but for everyone else that's like, still on the ground, on earth, working a job and just trying to support a family, like that hits different, right? It hits totally different. So I don't know. I think it's good that these things are kind of starting to merge, because to me, it's all the same stuff. Like, we could sit here and I could give you macroeconomics stuff, I could give you crypto stuff, and I could give you personal finance, and they all merge together. They all blend, right? So I think that's good, even though it's like a heavier, denser piece of the pie to really digest of life. But I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you noticed this too? Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Or comment below, or if you just want to comment for the algos and give us some love there, that'd be great. Like the video. Again, this is a simple thing you can do. It's free if you like this and find it valuable, and it helps us grow this community. And then if you're brand new here, a lot of people watching are actually not subscribed, which is crazy, I know. And so it just takes a second, click the red button and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss out on awesome future videos like this one. All right, see you.